Did I speak too soon about G? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 6, episode 13. Now, I have to back up. I got to back up. Roll the tape back. Did I speak too soon about G? Now, I said I like G, but I don't know. G, what's going on? What is really going on? Okay, listen. Before they left home, G, Gordon, Mia's husband, he had some reservations about going on this group trip with the husbands included. He admitted to being a little extra. And I was like, I thought about it. I said, he's a gentleman of a particular age. So a lot of the silly stuff that goes on with them, with those women, I'm sure may actually get on his nerves. Ray tends to deal really well with the silliness and staying out of it. But, everybody's not Ray. And I think G is what? G's 68? So I was like, maybe that's what he means when he says he's extra. Well, no. It seems as though old G is an instant asshole, just add alcohol. So I said, oh. I mean, personally, all the way up to this point, I thought G was going to be like another Greg Leaks, how we just love Greg Leaks. Rest in peace. Shout out to Greg Leaks, man. I love me some Greg Leaks. But G, no, baby, you do. Though I think you are pretty much a good time still, but baby, G, you know Greg Leaks. Nope, he's not. But that's okay. We're gonna talk about it all. Let's go over to Chris and Candiace's house. Okay, so she is explaining to Chris her whole read about the projector and that's the projector. Okay. So now we know. I said it seems like maybe she had hired some old fierce tongue queen to write for her. Now we know. Anytime you got to sit around and explain a read, that tells me someone explained it to you. And for me, then it's not a good read anymore. Like, what are we doing here? This is reality television. Scripted reads, not a fan. Anyway, but that's what that said to me. She went through the whole thing of explaining how the read was and how it put. You corny. You're corny. Welcome to the Corny Collins show. It's corny. And it was corny. And where's the queen that wrote it? So I could tell her, you're corny. Get somewhere to sit on. Anyway, writing that bullshit. Anyway. But now when you just talk, you be okay. Because then she sat over there and dragged Mia. Talking about she had leaky booty, fake leaky lips, and a botched clitoris. I said, see, just talk. Just say what you feel. And then her whole thing, she said, who's intimidated by you? Said that's really, she feels like it's a deflection. Pretty much. It's all the insecurities that Mia has. She puts them off on other people. She does. And I mean, she didn't say, well, I don't know that her clitoris is botched. I don't know, because she married well, so I'm going to say that her clitoris is working fine. Her boobs don't look too bad down them lips. Don't understand it. Wants no part of it. It doesn't look too hot. Anyway, but that was that. Just Candiace, skip the old, put together reads and having to explain them. That's corny. Screw that. Leave that alone. Just say what you feel about her. You don't like her, so the best reads actually come. When you don't like somebody, baby, you'd be surprised who can read, honey. When you get to talk about what you really feel about a person that you don't care for, it just rolls off the tongue, child. Sorry about it, but that's the truth. Anyway, because I told you all, reads are built in truth. Good reads are built in truth. When there's someone lying, you will never read a person down to the ground with lies, because lies are just that. There's nothing behind them. They're just lies. They don't mean anything. They don't hit. But when you take someone's truth and you hit them with their truth, you could push them into a corner. You can make them cower, because it's, you know, that's the read. That's what it's all about. It's like, oh girl, this is what you did. Okay, now that's the read. But when you're just lying and making up stuff, everybody will end up just looking at you like, even if you think that you have actually read someone really good and nobody knew you were lying, lies always come out. And when the lies unfold, guess what's going to happen? You'll be at a function and somebody will bring it back as to how you lied when you read said person. And then guess what happens? Then your ass gets read. And then it wasn't a good read, because now you look doubly foolish. Pay attention. Anyway, moving on. I'm going over to Gizelle's. Gizelle sent a response to Wendy about the invite. Basically told her, I'm not coming due to the rudeness of your invite. Me and my luggage is staying home. And then her lapdog followed right behind her. And she said that she also wasn't coming. You know, Robin said that she felt as though Wendy kept disrespecting her relationship, and the things that were said about the relationship, them things did bother Robin. So she's still in her feelings. So she says she ain't coming either. Robin sat and filled Ashley in, because we were kind of over Robin's house and over Gizelle's at the same time. So Robin filled Ashley in, of all people, on Mia's mother's background and all of that. I said, okay, here we go with this. Michael is not coming. Thank God. So Michael's not coming to the trip either. Nobody needed to be bothered with his drunken self. And that's that. So let's just go forward to them getting ready to go. You see Ray getting Karen to the door. Goodbye. Goodbye. He's not coming up until the next day because of his work schedule. So he had one free day. Baby, he was pushing Karen out the door. See, girl, pushed her on out the door with Ashley. Why is Ashley dragging that family portrait? Girl, nobody want to look at you and your two kids and your dumb husband. And when she got it, she said, I brought it with me. I had it done. I'm going to put it in my room. Yeah, put it in your room. Put it all the way in your room. Don't nobody want to see you, neither one of them babies, or that dumb husband. Just ridiculous. Just always something extra. Just ridiculous. Anyway, moving on. G and Mia, Wendy, and her husband all got there first. So they were sitting there, and she said the theme for the weekend is GVO. It's good vibes only. G and Mia both just as pretentious to what they was running around looking for the valet. And they didn't even bring their luggage inside with them. Like, they were serious. First, I was like, are they joking? When they left that luggage in the car. That was the first strike. I said, G, now stop it. Maybe they have somebody that's going to come out and get our luggage. You're looking up the road. Don't you see a house? Ain't nobody told you nothing about no valet. That wasn't in no email. That wasn't on no text message. You just on some old pretentious garbage. I said, foolishness. They got in there. They ended up sharing Mia's past. Mia did shared her past with Wendy now, and I'm like, okay, so that's interesting. We're going with that. Again, everybody pretty much is on board with what went on, except for Candiace. Now, I have a hard time believing that Candiace doesn't know, because of the way things were brought up and the way that she was handling things. I'm just not, me personally, I'm not buying that Candiace did not know about Wendy's mother. But whatever, we're going to go with it. Just for the show's sake. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I mean, that's not don't believe it. I don't. Now, Heavenly over on Married to Medicine, you know, your mama is her thing. It's always been her thing. She has always gotten in trouble for the your mama stuff. And, you know, that's it. They've been fussing at her about that for years. But just out of nowhere, we ain't never heard no your mama stuff on this show. Never. I don't buy it, but whatever. Anyway, in the car ride on the way up, I don't want to forget this, Karen tells Ashley that she did extend an invite to Gizelle to come to the ceremony for the redoing of the vows. So I said, okay, well, that's good. So they are really making some way. Karen's hair looked nice to me. That was nice. This hair's nice. You know, I like it. I like that on her. I like that on you, Karen. And she just looked cool, and she looked chill, and she looked like she really did come to, like, really let her hair down, have a good time, and just chill and not be doing too much. She looked really good. Really good. Cute little jogging suit. She looked very age appropriate and fly. Her hair was fly. It was real cute. Cute color. Everything looked good. Now, by this time, they were sitting there doing shots and stuff. By the time any of that, they got up there. Well, they hadn't got there yet, but before that, G is completely drunk. Completely drunk. Because they started off taking shots. And G's drunk. Period. Like, he got drunk. He started sharing too much. I was like, oh, God. We were like, literally, we were in the land of TMI. Now, I was all here for it. I was like, come on, tell us some more. Tell us some more. Tell us some more. He got to telling us about how they pick up folks from the strip club. And yes, he's 68 years old. He ends up basically telling Candiace. And, well, you know, Candiace said so. But he told him he got a big penis. And Candiace is like, it still works? He's like, oh, yes, it does work. Is a pig's ass pork? I said, oh, my God. Here you go, these old reads, honey. I was like, okay. Then they let out that he likes white women. And that's what Mia's like, oh, it's not a big deal. You know, when we go to the club and he picks somebody, it's not, you know, I'm never threatened because he likes white women. We don't like the same thing. He likes white women. I was like, what? So, of course, Wendy was like, you like white women? What? She's like, okay, I'm not judging. Yeah, that means you're judging. And he kept saying stuff to Wendy's husband, who was like, don't put me in it. My name is Bennett. I ain't the hell in it. Leave me alone. Then Escala shows up with her husband. I didn't even realize Escala was actually married. And they are a cute couple. They really are a cute couple. You know how Escala is. They get there. Then G goes out and he comes back. Now they got the floor show. He then, their anniversary's coming up. So he is sharing that he done bought her a G-Wagon and it's going to be customized. And she's like, oh, and you know, it was just like this whole moment. And it was very pretentious and very, It was very, And, she's like talking. He basically told her to shut the fuck up. He's like, you just wanted a few times I could tell you to shut the fuck up. It's just basically saying we're just showing off. You don't have to go through all the details of what you're going to do with the car. Because he put her on the phone with the car dealer. It was weird. He went out there and called the man and then came back and told her somebody wants to speak to you. That was nothing but for showing out. Like, nobody cares. No one cares. But this is where we were going in this right here, where he was drunk and everything, and then his mouth was just doing too much. Okay, so Candiace and Escala. They were having a little conversation. I'm skip back to that. Just hold that. Let me just tell you about a couple of these things that he was saying out of his mouth that was like, oh. They were like, I was cringing. Okay, he told you he liked white women, and they pick him up from the strip club. I said, okay, that was a lot. Then he told her to shut the fuck up. I said, okay. Escala was like, ooh, y'all talk to each other like that at home? That whole thing. Then he turned around there and said, can you give me a loan? To Chris. And Chris is like, He's like, can you give me a loan? You know, I hear white guys got all the best interest rates. I was like, oh. Out of order. Out of order. I mean, I understand he was making a joke, and of course, G has more money than Candiace and Michael, but just out of order. It was very out of order. I didn't like it. Then there was a point where he almost fell over. I was like, "You drunk ass." You know, I don't like no running drunks. No, that's just too much. He didn't just got sloppy drunk. Then he says to his scholar, and it was true. He's like, "You a big motherfucker." Because Escala's husband is big. Like, I'm like, y'all leave Escala alone because an ass whooping might ensue. He is big. He is big. They're cute. I love the contract. I already told y'all before. You know, I like all that. So, he's big. I was like, okay. But he was just all over the place. He was all over the place. I was like, oh, God. And Mia's like, oh, G is fine. G's fine. So y'all are just, I mean, he said it. He said he was extra. I didn't know he was that extra. G ain't got no class when he drink. He is an instant asshole, just add liquor. Now, I didn't see anything violent or anything like that yet. He still's pretty chill, you know, and everything like that, but really just doing the most. He's really doing the most. Like I said, Candiace and the scholar were actually having a conversation, and they were talking about G and how he was. Then Wendy came in. Then they were talking about that. Wendy was getting ready to tell them about Mia's background, and she never got it out because Mia ended up showing up. Mia and Candiace started having a little bit of a back and forth. And listen, this is what I'm going to say about this little thing. Candiace ain't here for Mia at all. And Candiace ain't giving her no space. None. She is just in her ass. She ain't giving her no space. Candiace, I'm going to say this. Mia is not really a pamper princess. She really is a dressed up ghetto bitch. So you can keep on playing these games that you're playing with Mia, and I think you'll get your ass whooping a lot sooner than you got it with Monique. So all this in her face stuff, you may want to, I mean, by all means, drag. But your animation is a bit much. You rolling up on her like, girl, like you don't know. You didn't get the lesson. You didn't get the lesson? Do you want your ass whooped again? Because that's where you're heading. That's where you're heading. Anyway, so they got to going, and she's talking to her, and now Mia was doubling down that the video was low budget. Period. And she was being rude. She wasn't trying not to be rude. And she said, I was trying to be like your mother. I was trying to, I aspire to be like your mother one day. She says, well, I mean, that's nice, but you would never be like my mother because my mother wasn't a stripper. Candiace was wearing her out. She was wearing Mia out in that back and forth. Now, that's how you read. All that over her shit, when just in the back and forth, baby, Candiace was wearing Mia out. She said, and then when the scholar was saying, well, wait a minute, Mia, like, some of the things that you're saying, and this, she's like, Wendy was like, now listen, this is what I know how this feels, so I'm going to say this. Y'all can't be doing no 2-on-1 stuff. Y'all can't be doing the 2-on-1 stuff. You can't be doing that or whatever. They're like, well, no, that's not really, we're not trying to 2-on-1 or gang up on her. It's just certain things. But Candiace, that damn Candiace, she gonna say, girl, she said, well, Mia, she knows about being piled up on. I said, oh my God. She was not giving her a space to breathe at all. She was firing reads at her. I was like, Jesus. She said, I got people all off of her. And they showed the clip back at her house when Gizelle and Robin and all of them were coming at her. Karen, she did jump in there, but it doesn't matter, Candiace. You being nasty. You being nasty and you're doing it because that's what you want to do. So just admit it. Stand in it. She told her, she called her big. She told her about her big 14-size feet. This, that, the other. That damn Mia. She was trying to recover. She said, God gave me these feet. And I like my big-ass feet. And, that damn Candiace, I was like, okay, Candiace. Candiace turned around and said, and God also made you basic. I said, okay. The only thing that saved it, because I think it would have continued on. Because at one point, Wendy was saying, no, 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 you don't know her situation. The thing when you said the stuff about her mother, she's like, well, she was talking to my mother. The actual, the beginning of what got us started is she was out of order with her interaction with my mother. So her mother ain't no better. Well, that's true. That is true. But she don't know the background story. But where they are now, it just is what it is. It don't really matter. Once she gets the full story, she gonna still say your mother. She gonna say it even worse. She gonna say it even because she went back to it. So your mother's low budget bitch. They're gonna go right on back to it. So it's gonna get ugly, and it's gonna get ugly quick. Not slick, quick. The only thing that stopped the argument at this time is that Mia's phone rang. Mia got on that phone and was like, oh, it's my girlfriend. This is my girlfriend. My rich, pampered girlfriends. Nothing like these bitches. This, that thing, and the other. And she went on. And the girls were like leaving. They were going downstairs. And she was like, your mama's a bitch. Your mama's low budget. Yeah, I was like, oh, God. They get downstairs. They decide they're going to do these room assignments. By this time, like I said, G is completely drunk. Completely drunk. They get down there. It was some cute, fun shade that Candiace was going to be the very last to pick her room. The ladies that had to stay in the cottage were the first. Candiace is the last because Gizelle and Robin ain't there. Gizelle and Robin are completely last. If they just happen to show up, they will pick. But yeah, Candiace got the last pick. She said, oh, that's because I put you in the cottage. Oh, you getting me back. That was some fun shade. Mia, at this point, had denied that she called them bitches. And the scholar checked her. Was like, oh, no, you did. And that was my thing. Why did you call us bitches? Like, we didn't, like that. We didn't deserve that. We weren't arguing with you, And she literally sat right there and said, I didn't call you no bitch. I didn't call y'all bitches, child. They rolled the bean footage, honey. You did, honey. You did. You did. Then they start up again. They start back up arguing again. Now you got Candiace. All the men was like, oh, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'm going outside. I'm going outside. I ain't even messing with it. Now, Candiace, you did pick up a piece of lettuce first. She didn't throw the lettuce at Mia, but she tossed it over there. Again, I told you about your animation. You need to stop now because you can't fight and you be getting your ass whooped. She threw a little piece of lettuce over that direction onto the table and said, maybe you need some lettuce. And they kept talking, and then the next thing you know, they reading again, and Candiace goes back in with your mama again. Now this time, Karen is there, and Ashley's there. So both of them jump in, and they're like, no, 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 you can't. They're like coddling Mia, and Candiace is like, no, what we're not going to do, I don't give a damn what her situation is. Y'all not going to coddle her. We're arguing. It is what it is. Y'all not going to, jump me about that. They couldn't even get through all of it. Now, like I said, it was only going to escalate. Mia done got in her feelings. Mia, in the midst of that, goes and picks up a whole handful of salad and chucks it into Candiace's direction. And Candiace grabs a handful and she throws it at her. And I was like, oh, this is just too much. This is too much. And then at the point, it was funny because Candiace was handling Mia, Karen, and Ashley. And Karen, she's like, I will not sit down, Karen. And she was giving Ashley, like, you and your big face and you and your big feet. I said, come on through, Candiace, but you're going to get your ass whooped. You are. You good with Ashley, but Mia going to bust you up. And you're like, child, Mia's so much bigger than Candiace. It's going to be a mess. But anyway, the guys was like, they throwing shit in there. And we ended out there. It was a really good episode. Listen, Real Housewives of Potomac, they told us it was going to be very eventful. It has held up to everything that they were saying. It has been a mess around here on these streets down to the Potomac. Well, they ain't even at the Potomac. They up the way. They just cutting up, showing out. Highbrow. I don't think so. Y'all messy as hell. Anyway, I'll catch y'all next week. Later.